Okay, we're going to take the arbor out of this 20N, but that always causes a lot of consternation, and on top of that, we're at someone else's shop and we don't have a lot of tools, as you can tell. Let's do it. All right, so that arbor is quite large. It's right in here. And this is a Morse-Taper 3, and inside the chuck is a Jacob's Taper 5. And the prescribed method is to use wedges to wedge it apart, but none of my wedges fit. And I've looked around and I can't find any that fit. And I'm at someone else's shop, so I don't have my surface grinder to make a pair. So how are we going to get that bad boy out? It's stuck in there like it should be, really good. Now, I don't know if you can see down inside here. Doesn't matter if you can see it or not, but that's just a blank hole. But somewhere in this chuck arbor, between here and here somewhere, this taper ends and the arbor begins, and there's a little void in there between the two. So let's take it and drill it out and see what we can do with it. So I'm going to start with kind of a small bit. I really don't like messing those up. And this one's a little challenging. It's hard to hold. I don't have anything else here. Let me go look around. So let's see if we can at least drill a hole in this. Maybe we can tap it out. Perfect. Okay, so there's room for this to fall out. I'm going to tap it. We'll feel it come out if it'll come. Nope. So, impact force didn't work. Let's tap that hole. There it is. Just need a little more leverage. So that preserves that that arbor for another day. It's a good old Jacobs one. And here's the new one. The packaging and the advertising said made in America. I'll put the link below. And so these taper fits need to be both clean. So I'm not going to do it right here, but I'll clean that. Get all the gunk off of it and clean both sides, get the grease out of here. You can see there's a mixture of grease and drill chips from me drilling through it. So I'll get all that cleaned out, and I want this surface and this mating surface super clean, and I'll even do a little rubbing alcohol on it, and then just one tap with the hammer will put it all back together. And then this old 20N will have a new life with a 4 Morse-Taper arbor. All right, we just took the arbor out. Let's press the sleeve out. So we're back here with our old style 20N. Look at that. There's all the ball bearings. Don't see any damage or chips. There's the slot to take all the balls out. And this one looks great. It looks like all those pieces are there. It doesn't even look too bad down where the balls are. All right, let's give it a bath. We'll come back when we got it all clean. See you tomorrow, Fred. We just got back from the ultrasonic. Everything's clean. Here's the old 3 Morse-Taper versus 5 Jacobs-Taper Arbor that was in it that we just took out. And here's the new 5 Jacobs-Taper by 4 Morse-Taper Arbor that we're going to put in. Now, these are a little easier to handle with the Arbor on. You can use them as the handle, but you want to make sure this surface and the mating surface is really clean. So you don't want any oil on this. This is a one tap and go. So make sure this doesn't have any grease or oil on it. I use isopropyl alcohol. Tap is all it takes. Not coming out. Now, on the inside, we drilled a hole through it. So we want to seal up that cavity that we used to pump the hydraulic fluid in. We used a 1/4 28 tap. So we're going to put a 1/4 28 set screw back in that hole. And that's for no purpose other than for some future person that rebuilds this. They'll be able to unscrew that, put the Zerk back in. And hopefully that's not for a long time, but that's an 1/8 inch, 1/4 28, 1/8 inch hex on that 1/4 28. So I'm just putting the jaws in, getting them in the right order, 1, 2, 3. And I've had them in there with no grease on them, and they feel great. I've checked it, got all the burrs out, and you don't need to overdo it with the grease. But I'm up to number 3. Ah, there it is. Now these twist a little bit till you put the nut on, so they can twist and get out of the channel, and they kind of might not run great, but when you get them in there, they ought to be just that easy on the Arbor with the finger. These are 1/4 inch ball bearings. There's 36 of them in here. And we'll get a little grease on our let's see if we can get everything to line up on the first try. You can see those moving. Boy, that feels really good. They lined up perfect. So let's go ahead and everything's going to work out great. We'll take this back off. We'll make sure we put our race on. Yep, still got it. So there's our little gap. And we need to load these things. All right, I'm going to put a little grease on it, and it's ready to press the sleeve back on. Perfect. All right, now the jaws are flush in there, just like we came from the table a second ago, and you can tell there's plenty of room to push this sleeve on, and they won't interfere with the sleeve being pushed back on. Just want to note that. But this should go on real smooth. It came off real nice. And now that it's clean, lubed, and ready for a new life. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. That didn't take much force at all to put back on. Everything's lubed and